So, criminal investigations happen in any number of ways depending on how recent or how acute a situation is. So, if a crime just happened and it's a 911 call, then the police are going to roll out to wherever that scene is, and the first thing that they're going to do is interview everyone. They're going to start by immediately trying to interview the victim and try to figure out who the defendant is and decide whether or not that defendant needs to be arrested or not, and make quick decisions in terms of arresting someone or not, identifying someone or not, and figuring out what evidence can be gathered immediately. But not surprisingly, most sexual assault cases are not necessarily reported in the moments that it happened, where it's like a crime that just occurred, like a burglary or robbery, or where it's in progress, or where everything is right there. So usually what happens is, very often a person who has been sexually assaulted will likely tell someone that they feel close and connected to, someone that they trust. In the law, we call this person a fresh complaint witness. This is a very important person in the process, because the first person you disclose abuse to usually is the person that is going to, we hope, encourage you to go to the police, believe you, support you. If you are a fresh complaint person, or you have ever helped or assisted anyone who's been sexually assaulted, you believe them, you help them, you don't question them, and then you try to meet them where they're at and hopefully help them get to the resources that they need to get. That person is someone who the police would want to interview too, because that is the person who you would have disclosed to and would help the prosecutor be able to understand what was the context for that disclosure. For example, oh my God, last night I was at a party and this guy raped me. So now you have someone who can corroborate what happened. That goes back to that corroboration again. But the next stages in the investigation is law enforcement will want to meet with who was first reported to, any potential percipient witnesses. That means if there was anyone in or about or around a situation that could provide pieces of the puzzle to be able to corroborate things. Even such things as, like, if there was a party, interviewing all the people that were there, talking about the state of mind of the various people. If there's any indication that there are multiple victims, law enforcement should go out and interview all of the potential other victims. So, for example, if this is one of those cases that happened at a school or a university, and it's a teacher type of case. A lot of times, the detectives will ask, do you think he did this to anyone else? Who? Sometimes we have a gut knowledge, or people have told us things. A lot of times when rumors, for better or worse, get passed around, people will start disclosing to victims, and you will know, and you may know other people. Those will be led to. Other things that may happen in the investigation is there may be a composite drawing that's done if we don't know who the identity of the perpetrator is, or a photo lineup to help identify who the perpetrator was. A very often tool that is used in sexual assault investigations is something known as a pretext call, where there will be attempts made by the victim to, with the help and assistance of law enforcement, in engaging the defendant in some sort of text message communication or phone call, hoping that the perpetrator admits or makes some admission. Again, that's another kind of corroboration. If it's no longer he said, she said, if the perpetrator makes some sort of statement that corroborates what was said. For example, he may have say in a text message back, "Oh my God, I didn't mean that. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm sorry." Those kinds of things can be very helpful. So the biggest piece in the investigation is the investigation, and usually a detective along with the prosecutor will work together as a team to create and find a plan to get as much evidence to corroborate, and that would include asking you to go and get physical medical examination in order to be able to have physical medical proof if it's an acute situation. And then whatever tools the investigation takes you, that's my approach. When I was in the DA's office, the approach was like, wherever the evidence takes you is what you're going to do next. So it's not necessarily a one size fits all. There may lead you down a path. One victim may lead you to another victim, which may lead you to another city. I would expect for social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchats, LinkedIn's, every sort of online search to be looked at in order to corroborate, if nothing else, to be able to get a sense of who this person is, seeing if they are consistent what their outside persona looks like compared to the persona that was displayed to you. In addition, as a victim, I would be prepared for all of your social media to be looked at, scrutinized, and see if there's anything that we need to address in terms of or being prepared. I mean, one of the things I think that's very hard for victims is that they're very scared about some of the good, bad, and ugly that may come out about them in terms of their own current behavior, past behavior, drug use, alcohol use. Um, Prostitution, sexting, whatever kinds of things we may have done that we're not so proud of. I will say that the more that you can be honest with law enforcement, the better it is, because it's better to know the good, bad, and ugly versus finding that out during the middle of a trial.